Ask the Messenger's TV show is a TV show that educates, informs, and entertains our viewers on public health issues such as mental illness, suicide, addiction, illness and disease, COVID-19 relief, crime, domestic violence, homelessness, human trafficking, employment opportunities, healthcare, and more. And now, Ask the Messengers.
So I go back to the South not in despair. I go back to the South not with a feeling that dark dungeon that will never lead to a way out. I go back believing that the new day is coming. And so this afternoon I have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day, right down in Georgia and Mississippi and Alabama, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to live together as brothers. I have a dream this afternoon that one day.
Today on Ask the Messengers, we honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and we hope to help you understand what his day of service is all about. It was on November the 2nd, 1983, President Ronald Reagan signed the King Holiday Bill into law, designating the third Monday in January a federal holiday in observance of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The legislation to recognize Martin Luther King Jr. Day was first introduced just 4 days after his assassination on April 4, 1968. Still, it would take 15 years of persistence by civil rights activists for the holiday to be approved by the federal government, and an additional 17 years for it to be recognized in all 50 states. Today, it is the only federal holiday designated as a national day of service to encourage all Americans to volunteer and to improve their communities. Ask the Messengers, Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service begins now.
If you want to be important, wonderful. If you want to be recognized, wonderful. If you want to be great, wonderful. But recognize that he who is greatest among you shall be your servant. That's a new definition of greatness. By giving that definition of greatness, it means that everybody can be great. Because everybody can serve.
I was one of 4 6-year-old children, girls, to integrate the public school system here in New Orleans in 1960. When I look at the Norman Rockwell painting and I see myself, I always say that the lesson I took away was a lesson that Dr. King tried to teach all of us, and that was that we should never look at a person and judge them by the color of their skin. I crossed a picket line, a mob every day for a whole year. There was a woman there to greet me. She did everything she could to make my day fun. She not only taught me, but she read stories to me. We played games. I knew that if I got past the mob and inside of the building, I was going to have a great day. And it was because of her. So she showed me her heart. And I began to realize that there was no way she was like the people outside. I couldn't judge her the same way. And so I believe at that moment, I learned the lesson that Dr. King died trying to teach us.
My father said an individual has not started to live until he or she can rise above the narrow confines of his or her individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of humanity. He would certainly applaud the fact that our nation has set aside a day where we can become more other-centered rather than self-centered and really focus on the broader concerns of humanity, because that's really the person that he was and the way that he lived. Nothing's insignificant. As you're celebrating the King Day, remember you are important, you're significant, and you have something that you can offer to make humanity a better place.
When I was in law school, I could see that this was going to be the most important development, that we had finally brought enough people together to understand that we could deal with this question of racism in America. And I sensed that was history. I wanted to be there. I wanted to be with him. I wanted to be connected. I knew it was important.
The dream is tough to realize. You see bits of it, and then you see darkness come. He would often use the analogy. He would say, you're going up a mountain. You're going this way, and you see this light. You keep going, it gets dark. But don't stop, because when you keep going, you become higher. But don't stop. So the fact that we can now vote is a part of the dream. We're building coalitions. It's part of the dream. 55 African Americans in the Congress is a dream. Women in the Senate, a dream. The African American president, a dream. Mandela being free from jail in South Africa. So one sees evidence of the dream, but also the dream is under attack. So there you see the attempt to suppress the vote rather than enhance the vote. The dream is under attack. You see the attempt to undermine full health insurance as opposed to maintain it. But the dream is so resilient. The dream will prevail because we will not give up affordable education, affordable health care, reconciliation over polarization. We will prevail.
Our country, this wonderful place, this little piece of real estate that we call America, was built, founded on service.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
And remember, stay safe, save time, make your appointments and payments online.
If you or someone you know is battling with any type of cancer, you need to read the book by Laverne Moore Slaughter, God Encounters Are Real. In her book, she tells how through prayer and faith, God healed her and set her free from stomach cancer. For more information and to get your copy, visit www.encountersarereal.net.
Who does DWIN help?
Adults, children, people that are homeless, people that have substance abuse, people that need prevention services.
You can be living up on the bridge. You could be suffering coming from prison, or you could just be suffering at home, but you can always reach out to DWIN.
And you are treated with dignity when you come to DWIN.
DWIN, we are one, a community of care.
You in their life. Know the risk. Know the facts.
Would you like to help us save lives? You can do so by partnering with us here at Ask the Messengers by making a donation of any amount. The people in your communities need your support. Help us extend our reach and impact more lives. Supporting our organization is as easy as a click of a button. Just visit our site shown on the screen from your phone or computer where you will see a yellow donation button. Ask the Messengers is waiting on your partnership, and your community is waiting on you.
Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9.
Our country, this wonderful place, this little piece of real estate that we call America, was built, founded on service. We didn't necessarily wait for local, state, or the national government. We came together as a people, and we just did it. In 1957, when I was 17 years old, I wrote Martin Luther King Jr. a letter. Told him I wanted to attend a little college about 10 miles from my home, and this school didn't admit black students. He wrote me back and sent me a round-trip Greyhound bus ticket. I traveled to Montgomery. I saw Dr. King standing behind a desk. He said to me, "Are you the boy from Troy? Are you John Lewis?" I was so scared I didn't know what to say or what to do. And I said, "Dr. King, I'm John Robert Lewis." I gave my whole name. He was so inspiring. He was so moving. And somehow, in some way, I wanted to become part of that movement, and I did.
For a long time, people fought to get the King holiday in, and it finally got achieved nearly 25 years ago. But it was sermons, talks, meetings, lunches, and one day I said to myself, this is wrong. If Martin Luther King were here, he'd say, that's not what I want on my day. I teamed up with John Lewis in the House and many Republican and Democratic colleagues of mine in the Senate.
We felt that Martin Luther King Jr. was a man of service, and his day, the federal holiday, should be a day of service.
When the Congress passed the legislation, it was sort of like reading wedding vows, that we were marrying a commitment to serve the common good and to let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. We lost a great soul. He took chances. He lived daringly. He didn't let the fear of harassment or persecution deter his mission. He stayed focused and committed. While he died at a young age, he lived a long life in terms of service and witness. He piled into those 39 years, 100 years or more on service and preaching and loving, caring.
The best way to honor him is to do what he advocated and what he exemplified in his own life. Service is an important part of what makes us human and also an important part of what makes us good citizens. But that it is an ongoing process, one that has to be confronted every day because the needs of people are every day.
Dr. King said that life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are we doing for others? The MLK Day of Service provides us the opportunity to answer that question. For some people, it's continuing service. It's what they do every day. For some people, it's the first time. It's an opportunity. What we really want people to do is to make an enduring commitment to service. But on this day, on MLK Day, I'm going to make that choice to be in service to others for the rest of my life.
As Coretta Scott King proclaimed,
the greatest gift Martin could receive
is if people of all racial and ethnic backgrounds
celebrated the holiday
by performing individual acts of kindness
through service to others.
I have a dream
that one day this nation
will rise up
and live out
the true meaning of its creed.
We hold these truths
to be self-evident
that all men,
women,
children,
people, Wolverines,
are created equal.
I have a dream
that one day
this will be an oasis
of freedom and justice.
I have a dream
that one day
we will live in a nation
where no one is judged
by the color of their skin,
but by the content of their character.
And if America is to be a great nation,
this must become true.
So let freedom ring.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s message can be heard everywhere.
His words change the nation.
And though you might not know where the words came from,
you can feel the truth behind them.
We're now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We're confronted with the fierce urgency of now.
The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. called us all to service.
Opportunities to serve those in need are all around you.
And every time you volunteer to read to a child, serve a hearty meal, or clean up a park in your comunidad, his message becomes a reality.
This January is your chance to let MLK's word inspire you to action.
We'll be right back with more of Ask the Messengers.
Hi, my name is Artesia Washington, and I'd like to welcome you to Irvine Newer Rehab, where we help you reach your goals of rehabilitation. So you ask, why choose Irvine? Now here at Irvine, we offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology, counseling, aquatic therapy, and massage therapy. And we help build you back to your previous level of functioning. Give us a call, 248-415-2500, www.irvineneurorehab.com.
Thanks, Charles, for letting me use your gardening supplies. I'll make sure I put it back in the garage. Man, tending to that lawn is a lot of work.
Tell you the truth, Jim, I'm more concerned about keeping this house.
What's going on?
Well, you know, Sarah lost her job 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Since we lost that income, the bills have been piling up, and we're so far behind. I don't want to lose the house because of back taxes. I don't know what to do.
I understand. The same thing happened to my sister and her husband when he lost his job. Do you know that the Wayne County Treasurer has plans and programs to help people stay in their homes?
No, I didn't. Tell me about it.
Yeah, go to www.treasure.waynecounty.com to see if you qualify.
What's that site again?
www.treasure.waynecounty.com.
Got it.
Young people are struggling. They're turning to drugs and alcohol to find comfort, and the consequences can be devastating. The Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network wants to help. Let's talk about it and find help together. Moms, dads, aunts, uncles, friends, and loved ones. It's never been more important to talk to kids and get them the help they need before it's too late. Call the 24-hour helpline, 1-800-241-4949, or visit dwihn.org. Here to talk, here to help.
Our children and youth are vulnerable to stressors that can affect their mental health. At the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, we believe mental health care should put children first. We provide mental health services that are youth-focused and culturally sensitive. Our clinicians and professional staff offer suicide prevention trainings, in-school services, and resources for LGBTQ youth, so hope and help are there for those who need it. Call us anytime 24/7 at 800-241-4949. We are here to talk, here to help.
Would you like to help us save lives? You can do so by partnering with us here at Ask the Messengers by making a donation of any amount. The people in your communities need your support. Help us extend our reach and impact more lives. Supporting our organization is as easy as a click of a button. Just visit our site shown on the screen from your phone or computer where you will see a yellow donation button. Ask the Messengers is waiting on your partnership, and your community is waiting on you.
Dr. King was determined to make a change, make a difference, and an impact on society.
I think Dr. King embodied being passionate because he stood up for something he strongly believed in
a very unique way. The way he spoke, the way he lived his life.
His temperament, his understanding of culture, and how to unify a people is beyond inspirational.
Junior's life began like yours or mine. Born in Atlanta, Georgia in 1929. Martin Luther and Alberta Williams wear his parents' names. With siblings Alfred and Willie, Christine Martin would play games at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. They were raised. Their father was Minister King, where the congregation praised. Martin graduated from high school early at age 15 and went to Morehouse College, grew in knowledge, though just a teen. He learned thorough protest to slavery in 1849. Then at Crozer Seminary, he saw God's great design. He with the peaceful tactics Mahatma Gandhi used at every turn. Though he finished top of his class, he still had so much to learn. So off he went to study at Boston University. Met and married his wife Coretta Scott in 1953. Learned theology, worked toward diversity, cared for the poor, till he took a job as a pastor in 1954. 'Twas in Montgomery, Alabama, where hate was winning out. The whites claimed things were separate but equal, but Martin had his doubts. Jim Crow laws enforced separation between the blacks and whites. Blacks sat in the back of the bus, violating human rights. In 55, Rosa Parks was arrested for sitting in the front. Without a doubt, this historic event forced a battlefront. So Martin led a bus boycott. People walked to inspire a fix. Till the protesters gleaned the laws were changed in 56.
Dr. King preached resistance. Was most effective through nonviolence.
Okay, Martin continued to advocate for the NAACP. He spoke of civil rights as he traveled from sea to sea. Next, he led the Southern Christian Leadership Conference to help people toward the goal of fairness and tolerance. At the Lincoln Memorial, he backed the Civil Rights Act, which later became a law that no one could redact. He staged sit-ins where blacks would sit in white-only spaces. Arrests followed as segregation fueled hate between the races. In Birmingham, there were boycotts against the businesses they protested. Laws had gone uncontested. Adults and children were beaten, fire hose detested. The people hoped for a change, but instead were arrested. The media caught it all, shown on every TV station, heard on radio, in the news, and made an angry nation. Social and financial pressures were felt in Birmingham. It was time to change unfair laws before they heard from Uncle Sam. In 63, JFK introduced the Civil Rights Bill. King held a march in Washington to affirm the people's will. In King's famous I Have a Dream speech, Martin boldly said his dream was that one day the news of equality would spread. So one day his 4 children would grow up to live in a place where they would no longer dwell separated by their race. A nation where children aren't judged by the color of their skin, but rather by their character, as it should have always been. Yeah.
Dr. King preached resistance. Was most effective through nonviolence.
That's right. Nonviolence. This Dr. King's words were televised, inspired every nation. The Civil Rights Bill passed in 64, a righteous declaration. That same year, Dr. King was honored, as was most deserved. Peaceful opposition was the way he always served. He was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, though he had more to promote. Progress had been made, but still so hard for blacks to vote. In 65, he planned to march from Selma to Montgomery. State troopers tried to stop their track across the country. That's right. President Johnson sent his federal troops for their protection, so they had the chance to voice their literacy, test objections. Not long after President Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act, giving all citizens equal rights to vote. As a matter of fact, Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream to liberate, but soon he was assassinated in 1968. President Reagan ensured that his deeds would be retold, making the 3rd Monday in January a day we behold. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is a national holiday, a time to remember he paid with his life to bring a better way. Martin Luther King Jr. Day is a national holiday. Let's go. A time to remember he paid with his life to bring a better way.
Dr. King preached resistance. Was most effective
Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you would like to help support our show, please feel free to make a donation of any kind by visiting our show website, www.askthemessengers.org. If you prefer to mail donations, please make check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235. Ask the Messengers is the program that deals with things that help you. Thank you for watching.